This is a 1956 Chevy Suburban. It was originally an Army vehicle, and you'll see the history of it in a minute. This is the granddaddy of the sport utility vehicles we have today. Notice the overhead valve 6-cylinder engine. The color is olive drab, the official Army color. Has the curved windshield appropriate for the time, and here we see the Army markings. 3100 series must have been a fairly heavy-duty vehicle, and it's outfitted right now as it would have been as a Signal Corps vehicle. My guess is that the owner was in the Signal Corps in World War II, so this is how a vehicle, or maybe the Korean War, and this is how the vehicle would have been outfitted. Here are the electronics here, and here you see the history of the car. U.S. Army in '56 and at Fort Riley, Kansas. Then it was sold at government auction in '72. Then it became a firefighting vehicle, and then in '95 it began restoration and has now been rebuilt as a Signal Corps vehicle. This is the kind of equipment it would have carried. As you can see, all, I'm sure, way outdated. Look at the field telephone, the granddaddy of our current cellular phones. Can you imagine carrying something like that around for conversation? Perhaps if it were that size, there wouldn't be a problem of using the cell phone and driving at the same time. Now these vehicles here were definitely used in civilian use. Had 3 rows of seats. Notice the sliding glass windows there in the back for taking the family to wherever the family needed to go to. Plenty of luggage room in the back. So they were very handy in the military for use there. Notice nothing fancy about the paint. Paint was covered the metal. That was the bottom line. Out in the field, they really didn't care too much about the paint job or the body work. There was work to be done. So utility was the major goal. Right next to it we have a Dodge Power Wagon, 1941. These things were brutes. I remember the company next door had one of these for their regular use after the war. They sold Dodge continued to make these after the war and sold them to civilians, whoever wanted one. Is a Flathead 6, and here you can see 4-speed transmission and 4,600 pounds without a load, so you can imagine what these things were like on the highway. The windshield was hinged so that it opened out for ventilation. Imagine these trucks were hot boxes. big tires, 4x4. Notice the grill guard, brush guard, not too much got past that to tangle with the radiator. Fort Wood. You can see there's a junction block for the wiring coming through the firewall. And the wiring is kind of braided. That was before they were using a lot of plastic wire, plastic coated wire, that is. A weapons carrier. The interior is painted the same as the exterior, that olive drab. Nothing fancy, just got the job done. You see the members of the chassis there. This huge vehicle, and that's what passed for the back bumpers, and the signal, the stoplights weren't much there. Those things would be running in convoys. Now here's a troop carrier, and the troop carrier is a very elemental vehicle. Here you can see the bench seats in the back where the troops sat waiting to arrive at the scene. There's a pickaxe and a shovel ready to get them out of problems on the side of the road. Big wheels. The interior sticker, I think, had the maximum speed of this vehicle at 45 miles per hour. And these top-heavy vehicles, you really didn't want to push it. And there we have another similar brush guard on the front end. Not sure if this is a Dodge or not, but probably similar specification.